So we're going to do a functional upper extremity scan. And with this scan, we're going to go through a number of movements that cover all the joint movements of the upper extremity. For some of these movements, you will be able to isolate muscles, and where possible, do that, as it will help you in your clinical reasoning process. So I'm going to start at the shoulder. So what I'm going to get you to do is just move through this range of motion with me. So first, I'm going to get you to do shoulder flexion. Go straight up over your head, and then go straight down, and you're going to go back for extension. So you're going back like this. You keep it in the right plane. So now we're going to do shoulder abduction. So you're going to with straight elbows, lift up, turn your palms up, and go up over your head. And then back down again, remaining in this plane. Now we're going to do shoulder adduction horizontal. Horizontal adduction. Now we're going to do shoulder internal rotation and external rotation. Have the client flex their elbows and then have them externally rotate and internally rotate. You could also do this in an alternate position by having them abduct their shoulders and then go up into shoulder external rotation, shoulder internal rotation. Now we're going to move to the elbow. So with the elbow, you're going to do elbow flexion, elbow extension. Remember, if you're in a fully supinated position, it is primarily biceps doing the work. If you were doing it in a mid-forearm rotation, you were using brachioradialis. If you were in a full pronated position of the forearm, you were using primarily brachialis. Now we go to the forearm and have your client elbow flex to 90, like that, and have them hold their upper arm, their humerus area, against their chest. Then you're going to go to full supination, midpoint, full pronation. Then you're going to go to the wrist. So you're going to start with the wrist. You do not have to hold them up, but for purposes of you seeing this, I'd like to show you that you do wrist flexion. Encourage the individual to concentrate on the wrist as well, so you don't have to make a fist when you're doing this. You just leave the fingers loose. Then when you go back into wrist extension, if you have the person fisted, it eliminates any of the digital extensors from contributing to a pure wrist extension. Then you can do a ulnar deviation and ulnar radial deviation. Then when you go to the digits, you're going to move to the MCPs for flexion, which are your lumbricals. So flexion, extension, and then your PIP and DIP flexion for long flexors to the fingers and extension. Then you can also do abduction, abduction, and adduction. Remember that the hypothenar eminence also does abduction for the small finger. Now we'll do thumb flexion across the palm, thumb extension in that same plane, thumb abduction away from the palm, thumb adduction back against the index finger, and opposition is a combination of abduction and flexion over as far as you can to the base of the little finger, or you can also do individual opposition to the tips of the fingers, sliding down the little finger into full opposition.